Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1980. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. The BigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines. There's just one.
Live. One day I'll get that right. I thought I timed it right, and it stalled, and then it went there, and there it sits. I am Sean Stanley. He is the great Frankie Fresco. We are the Squared Circle Digest, and we talk WWE, AEW, and professional wrestling. Frankie, how we doing today, man? And also, by the way, we usually do Tuesday at 7. Unfortunately, could not do this Tuesday and cannot do next Tuesday as traveling for the Big O radio show. So I will discuss about next week with Frankie after the show, but that's why we're on today at 7 p.m. And I thank Frankie for taking the time and changing things around and being a part of the show. So thank you, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, because normally we started. I meant to say Tuesday at 7 we normally start. But yes, it is 8 p.m. right now. So, the great Frankie Fresco. And we are talking a lot of pro wrestling here tonight, myself and Frankie. And, excuse me while I'm doing something right now underneath that you can't see, but we appreciate that. Frankie, let's go with where it all started this week. Well, for me, because, listen, Smackdown was recorded. Anybody that doesn't know that. Smackdown's recorded, so we kind of knew what was going to happen there and everything that went down there. So I'm jumping, and we're jumping right to Crown Jewel. So, sir, I'm going to ask you, just general thoughts right here. General thoughts, Crown Jewel, your reactions to the PLE that we saw in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Hmm. Wow, really? I mean, I'm not one of those that think a lot about where they, because again, understand what they're doing in Saudi Arabia. They're basically just there cashing checks. I mean, if anybody has seen Brandon Thurston's work, I believe it's Brandon that does it. He put together with inflation all the WrestleManias 1 through 41 now, gets you $334 million. The 10-year contract with the Saudi government is for $550 million. So think about that. With inflation, all the WrestleManias combined, 41 of them will not equal, will just barely go over actually half of what the Saudi government is paying for these 10 pay-per-views, 2 a year, 5 years. What? Can anybody hear us? Can you talk? Oh no, yeah, I'm good. I'm talking on this here. This is on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. Are you on? No, I don't hear you.
Now can you hear me? I'm gonna keep talking. I don't know. My connection seems good.
Yeah, on my end. Oh, there you go. You just popped in.
I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I can hear
You're in
you.
now. I don't know what was going on. Okay, Frankie Fresco, go back to your whole diatribe of how crappy Crown Jewel was, and tell us how lackluster it was for you.
Why does this happen to us when we don't do the show on a Tuesday, bro? It's so like everything happens wrong for us on a freaking when we don't do it on a Tuesday. All right. So, and thank you, Josh, and thank you,
Yeah.
your dad as well for saying Frankie no sound. Yeah, I was reading it. I was like, I can't hear. Okay, so now that you guys can hear me,
The worst part about it is he's coming across on my end, so I had no idea.
that's true. Yeah, like it was funny because I could hear like if you can't hear me, you'll tell me, Frankie, I can't
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah.
So it's funny. But long story short, to kind of just say what I said at the beginning, it sucked. It was lackluster. I wasn't impressed. Probably the worst live event they've done this year. That's my take on it, and I'm sticking to it. At the end of the day, I don't know, man.
No, I feel like Crown Jewels are throwaway pay-per-views for them. That, as I was saying before we found out you had no sound,
Yeah.
is again, they make in the 10 years, they're going to make as much as they made with inflation added to 41 WrestleManias. That's what this is. That's what this is. And the Saudis want to have the Undertaker over there. They want to have, there's other things going on too they get there like Wednesday, they do some events and things like that. So there's a lot going on other than the wrestling. I found it interesting that they actually did the Raw over there this year as well.
They did, yes.
And it was again the way I look at the Saudi pay-per-views is kind of like throwaways. But I did like a couple things. I like the fact that the Bloodline 2.0 won. Finally. And I like the fact that they had Solo pin Roman. What I don't like the way they did the ending was Jacob Fatu, kind of gets over on Roman, and then it's it's a one spike, and then the second spike, and it's pin. And it's like, okay, so wait a minute. So Roman, it took what, like five or six crossroads. I know 3 in a row at the end, of course, but throughout the extent of the match, that's the one thing that, and I say this about everything, and maybe it's just the old get off my lawn guy in me.
Yeah.
It's like, it just, I feel like you make others look weak. The same thing happened with the Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins match, which I thought wouldn't happen, but it did happen. So I lose that one. I lost a lot, by the way. I don't think I won any. Did I win any on this whole week?
I should have them written down. Hold on.
Yeah. I don't know. I just gave up on it. But it's like, okay, so
All right, hold on.
you do all these stomps. He got a stomp on the steel step, stomps during the match, and a super stomp from the top rope to finally beat him. And then he gets up as Seth Rollins is walking back to the back.
Oh, okay. So this was our picks.
Mm-hmm.
You had Chelsea and Piper Niven.
Yep.
I had Jade and Bianca, so I won that one. You had LA Knight. I had Carmelo Hayes, so you won that one.
And by the way, that was the match where they had a pretty cool ass finish, by the way.
We had Seth Rollins. You originally was gonna go with Seth Rollins, and then said it does not happen at all. And I had Bronson Reed, so I guess that's a wash because neither one got us right.
Yeah.
You had the Bloodline. I had the Tribal Chief, so you won that one. We both had Nia Jax, so we lost that one. I had Cody, and you had Gunther, so I won that one. And then who won between Randy Orton and KO? I forgot.
I think it was like a throwout, wasn't it? With a chair and I can't remember actually.
Did they? If you guys
Oh,
remember, if you guys remember, I forgot what.
Wait a minute. Oh, Josh said I heard it was a botched pin. Which one, Josh? I'm sorry, I didn't see when it popped up.
For
Did I just disappear?
No, you're still there. You just are a little bit frozen. You're like Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. You kind of look kind of like no homo, but kind of sexy with that. That position you did and the way you're frozen on the camera. You look pretty. You look pretty good right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh boy! All right, I'm out.
You literally froze, and now what's going on? Like, what is going on?
Like my picture on my side disappeared. Like I can't even see myself anymore. So hopefully you can see me and hear me. But this is crazy. I don't understand what's going on here.
I could hear you, and I could definitely see you, but you're frozen. But you were frozen like in a perfect angle. Like it's
It
like
captures my cheekbones and stuff. Are good.
absolutely, it looks great. And with the new and without the headset, you have the earplugs in.
Yeah.
You even look even more sexier. No,
All right,
pause,
good,
pause.
Good deal, man. All right, so we'll just keep going so you can hear me, and then we'll figure out the rest. I don't know if it's my internet because now I'm seeing the little thing here. All of a sudden, it's going in and out. So it may be if you don't hear me anymore, let me know, Frankie. Okay.
Okay, in chat board, if you can't hear Josh, let us. Josh. If you can't hear Sean, I don't know why I said Josh. I guess because I see Josh on the chat board.
Yeah,
If you
Josh,
can't,
the one letting us know what's going on.
if you can't hear Sean, and you guys on the chat board, let me know because at least I could hear him. But I don't want it to be like what happened last time where
Yeah, exactly.
you could hear me and then they can't hear me. So I don't know what's going on today. It's Thursday, bro. It's Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna stop doing shows on Thursdays, man. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know they're doing some construction down the road. So I
Um,
wonder if they hit something or they did because like I was fine all day, and then now I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I don't know what
and then
Josh is saying. I heard it was a botched pin. I wonder if that's the Orton KO match he's talking about. I don't know.
wait, and now what? I don't know if you can. You still see the chat board?
Yeah,
What did your dad just finish typing? An eye?
yeah, just an eye, just an eye. I think he stopped. He started to do it and he stopped. And actually, you know what? I've been telling him all morning, but a very happy birthday to my dad today. Is his birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday, sir.
wow! Look at
Me
that.
Padre.
Impressive.
Yes, I should probably do it
Tony.
on the show as well.
Of
Give
course.
Miss Flowers.
But hold on a second, Sean.
Yes,
That means that you guys, how far apart are your birthdays then?
5 days.
Wow, that is so cool.
Well, actually, if you want to be technical, it's 19 years, 360 days.
Look at you. Look at you. But I mean, that would have been pretty kind of cool if you would have had the same birthday as your dad.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I need to get gifts, man. My
Well,
dad won't sign
you
me,
could.
man. Everybody will be giving him his gifts, and I'll get no gifts, man.
You guys can cancel each other out when it comes to gifts.
No, we're so canceling out. I want my gifts on my birthday, man.
Yeah, so let me know who won the KO and the Randy Orton. I don't remember that one.
My dad said he can hear you both. The Roman match, I think it was Jimmy was supposed to break. Oh no, there was a botch where Jimmy got there real late, but then Solo gets the pin at the end, and then Sami Zayn comes out, and then Sami ends up kicking the OTC.
Yeah,
That was a pretty good time spot too. There were some there was little moments here and there, but it's almost like it's now turned into a throwaway pay-per-view. I did not like. I mean, not that I didn't like the results of either one of the Crown Jewel matches.
I was surprised at Liv Morgan winning. I honestly feel, Sean, that is a left turn. I honestly feel because now is it true? Is Rhea Ripley's injury for real? Because I heard it's for real when she headbutted Liv Morgan, she actually did fracture her.
Yeah, no, she really fractured the orbital bone. Yes.
Yeah, so if I think what happened is by her doing that to herself, I think it changed. They had to make a left turn and they had to change it around. And I think that's why they gave it to Liv Morgan. Because I don't think Liv Morgan was supposed to win that match. I honestly think it was Nia Jax. Some way, somehow, Rhea Ripley was going to get involved. But because of the injury, they had to scrap it and they just went with Liv Morgan. I honestly feel that. Because think about it. Why would Liv Morgan beat Nia Jax? It just doesn't seem, even with cheating, even with all the people who got involved. Yeah. It just didn't make any sense, to be honest.
Maxi Day Pounder, welcome to the chat, my friend.
Oh, what's up,
Says
Maxi?
OTC Roman Reigns. It felt very both of them, because I thought like Cody doesn't need that monstrosity. But then again, you know what got me to thinking too, in a way, I was like, oh, Gunther's not winning it. When Triple H says that they want these to be like Super Bowl rings, so the wrestlers are going to keep them so they can say how many times I was like, oh, man. This is another accolade for Cody. In a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cody can win, one or two of them. He doesn't have to be the World Heavyweight Champion. He could be the other champion, too. As long as he has one of the championship belts, he can keep adding the rings.
I mean, look, I'm be honest with you, man. I think I think they thought that by making those additional belts, they were gonna get a real crowd reaction, and they never got a real crowd reaction here in the States and over there. I disagree
with you, because the whole thing was the belts are staying over there, so they were never meant to be anything here.
Correct.
They're staying over there on display. So to me, maybe they thought they would be like a big maybe for that moment, but like, you're never defending it. You get a ring that you're never gonna wear. Because you're not going to wrestle at the ring. They're not going to pull, unless Cody pulls the MJF and puts on the ring, the dynamite ring, and starts using it as a weapon.
But think about it. Honestly, man, I know that they had to make Crown Jewel more of a significance because obviously they're going there continuously in Saudi Arabia. But what could you have done differently? Could you, I honestly, you want to know something? If they really want to go ahead and do Crown Jewel differently, they should just make Crown Jewel King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. Just do that, bro.
But they did that the first one. Remember, that was the first one.
But how many times are they going to Saudi Arabia?
Twice a year.
Also, they are going twice a year. Yeah. I thought they only
went for 5 years. I don't know if I can't remember when I want to say it was 2020. They started this, so that means it's either up this year or next year, I believe, is the 5 years. I don't know if they extended it. I haven't heard that part of it, but
okay, then if that's the case, if they have to do 2 shows over there, then you know what? Then move Money in the Bank and put it as over there. Then,
but see, that's where I think what they're going to end up doing is what they've done here. You're going to have the King and Queen of the Ring, like you said, they did the first one, the King and Queen of the Ring, and then they're going to do this. Whatever they're going to call it, the King of the Crown Jewel Champion or whatever the hell they called it. And so I think those are going to end up being the 2 pay-per-views that happens. So you crown a king and a queen, and then you crown the crown jewel.
Yeah, but Sean, this okay, the king and the queen is fine. But this crown jewel crap sucks. It's dumb. It's you don't take the belts. It's another belt that just stays in Saudi Arabia, and then you're collecting rings.
But
This,
it goes back to the whole thing. Remember, the guy that came over is what? He's an ESPN guy, and he's a Marvel guy. So this relates to the sports side. Now you have something, a ring that you collect every year that only 2 people get to fight for. Well, 4 if you count the women too. But only 2 men and 2 women get to fight for that. That's like a Super Bowl type thing. And then now you collect the ring and be like, I was a 4 ring. It becomes another accolade to add to what's already happened for a Hall of Fame career. Cody Rhodes was a 3-time champion. He won the crown jewel 4 times. He was king of the ring. He was, whatever it's going to be. It's just another little accolade that they're going to kind of, just add to it. And real quick, Max the Pounder, I see you down there say the biggest fan of wrestling because of Roman Reigns. I think a lot of people feel the same sentiment as you. But I just feel like this is just another accolade for whoever. Maybe it's not Cody, maybe it's whatever it's going to be, but it's just an accolade. There's no, and that's why I think they're going to do that over there, because just like King and Queen of the Ring. What was King and Queen of the Ring this year? It was really just you get the shot at SummerSlam, right?
yeah,
That was the whole thing.
But it plays with the storyline. It plays with the storyline, and then the situation here
It
is
does, but with Money in the Bank, though, you're talking about a premium live event that, like,
just move it.
I disagree with that, man.
Just move it, because
I
then
think
now
that sells better than what anything else. I mean,
guys on the chat board and people who are watching on the stream on YouTube, on X, and on all those the platforms that we're streaming it on, what do you guys feel is a better option for Crown Jewel? Doing what they're doing now, which is giving out rings. That way you could stack them up and there'll be like kind of like Super Bowls or stuff like that, or moving Money in the Bank into Crown Jewel. That way it plays with the storyline. You guys let me know on the chat board, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the rings?
but now you're making Money in the Bank though a pay-per-view, whereas it's just 2 matches. That's why they did them. They throw them in on the PLEs now. It's not even a.
Yeah, but you make it okay. You Money in the Bank is a big thing now, especially now in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know. Saudi, but again, you're giving away a match that you're already paid for.
Look at that. Look at Maxi. Maxi's saying Roman Reigns owns the ring. He is the tribal chief. Roman owns the yard. I understand that, but look, you're putting all this right. You want Roman. What are you gonna do? Like, are they? Let's say
Let me ask you this:
for future crown jewels, are they gonna go ahead and just be the champion versus the champion, and this is how it's gonna go from moving on? Because if Cody Rhodes is the champion for 5-6 times, then he's gonna be in the main event of Crown Jewel every single time. Like,
they might switch it up and have the women main event once in a while or something. I don't know. Depending on who it is.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the fact that the people winning, they're always gonna have to. The people competing in for the rings are always have to be the heavyweight champion. If that's what it is,
yeah.
No, that's dumb.
Yeah, but here, look at this from a business perspective, Frankie. Okay, you're running WWE. Okay, you're getting $555 million. You're getting basically $55 million a pay-per-view, and they don't even care what the matches are.
True.
So why am I going to take a pay-per-view like that has Money in the Bank, which becomes a part of the pay-per-view that you're going to pay to see, and give it to them that I'm already getting $55 million for? No, I want that at a PLE that people are going to want to watch it to bring me more money.
Well, then why come up with this ring situation and new championship belt, crown jewel belt? Why
because
come up with it?
Probably wanted them to have some gaudy championship because that's the way it works, and they're like, okay, this is what we can do.
Maybe that's one option, or maybe the Saudis said, hey, we want something in return. We just don't want pay-per-views, and WWE said, okay, we'll just give you some belts. I get it, but for me as a fan,
the Saudis paid for the the titles. I mean, again, the wrestling wasn't bad. The pay-per-views are situated this way to where when you look at them, the king and queen of the ring, they're situated to where they kind of are out of the way of storylines where it's either a new storyline starting or storylines ending when they do the crown jewels. Is usually how they try to do those events.
I just think it's for me, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that you give them rings. I don't like the fact that you're giving additional titles and then you're not even defending the titles. They just stay in Saudi Arabia. That's dumb. I think they should have come up with something different. They should have come up with something where if the Saudis wanted something in return to make Crown Jewel kind of mean something, they could have come up with something different. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Again,
but also another thing too is Riyadh has the brick and mortar building of WWE experience. So that becomes now a focal point to where you want to visit it and see those titles on display.
I wouldn't say all that, Sean, because those titles in display are never going to get defended. They're just titles. Like, it would mean something if those titles were being defended. They're not being defended. They're just there. Like, if they wanted, I mean, I'll get a belt and put it right there in a frame and say, hey, look, enjoy the titles. They don't mean anything, bro. They don't mean anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're the
rule.
No, but Sean, they don't mean anything. You won the match, and you won the belt, and you don't even defend it.
You don't need another belt, though, Frankie. I mean, but
exactly. That's my point. You don't need a belt at all.
But exactly, and that's why they did this. You take the two champions, you fight for one, you become the crown jewel, the ultimate champion, and then the belt stays there. So now you get the ring to carry with you, so you got something, but there's not another belt to defend. Why do you need another belt to defend, though? I don't understand.
You don't need a belt. You don't need a belt to defend.
Don't. But if they wanted another belt,
you don't need a belt
to make the pay-per-view there, then do that. What are you going to do?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I would not have done that. I would have come up with something different. That's just me.
Okay, let's go. What? Real quick, on the spot. What would be different, though? I don't understand. Like, you're talking about moving a Money in the Bank there. Why? They've already given you $55 million.
I understand that, but
if I was that, I would have had New Day against somebody else main eventing. I wouldn't even brought any of the stars. I would have had them eat the food with
There has to be a reason why they decided to put extra belts into this crown jewel. Probably because they felt, hey, maybe it could have been different things. Maybe the Saudis said, hey, we want it to mean even more. You gave us the WWE pay-per-view experience. Awesome. But now we want it to mean something. Kind of like like WrestleMania. WrestleMania is big because it's usually the Super Bowl. Royal Rumble is big. Why? Because you throw some at the winner of the Royal Rumble takes the guy in WrestleMania. You know that in Survivor Series, it's the War Game. So it means something. Each pay-per-view means something. Crown Jewel, you're giving two belts that are just irrelevant, that you really don't need. You don't need them. You just, if you know something, they should have just done a pay-per-view and for just defend the belts. Like, forget about this. Hey, Cody champion versus champion in both the women and the men. Just have a regular pay-per-view. Now, if the Saudis ask for more, then do something different. Don't just go ahead and give a championship belt saying, hey, the winner of the, you know what? Then get rid of the championship belt, right? And just have rings. And then you could put rings on display if that's the case. Because like you just finished saying it too, Sean. They're not even gonna wear the rings when they have to. They'll probably wear it for a couple shows and then they'll take it off, and then that's it. You won't see the rings again. It's pointless. It's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the NBA playoff, that mid-season tournament. It's pointless.
Yeah, but it gets money. That's the point of it. It's pointless to us, the fans. But on a business sense, it's about the money.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be about the money because they already got the money. They already got their. You just finished saying that they already got a contract for all that money.
Yes,
so
but
why do they need to go extra?
If the Saudis say, "Hey, we want to make these gaudy belts and we want it to mean something," then what we're going to do is this: we're going to have the two champions fight each other to become the ultimate crown jewel champion. And then you guys, we can post it up in the WWE experience here because now the WWE doesn't take on any more belts. It stays there, and then you have the ring. I mean,
I think it's pointless.
I don't know what else, because like if you make it a basic regular pay-per-view, now you got to come up with storylines. There was no storylines other than the OTC, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I mean, like major storylines. There it was easy for them to do because now even on TV it was Cody and Gunther face to face.
Yeah, but
you live in them, so now they got a chance to kind of, distance a little bit heading into Survivor Series.
Yeah, but on the previous Crown Jewels, you had it worked fine. I remember Roman Reigns versus this guy, one of the brothers. What's his name? Damn it.
He fought Jay there.
No. He fought the other guy, bro.
But there's Drew too. It was Drew against Roman. That's when Solo debuted. That was a crown jewel as well.
That was okay, and there was also the one of the Eagle guy. Man, what is his name? Paul Logan. Not Logan Paul. Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. Remember that one? That was another crown jewel one as well. It was a main event. It was fine the way it was. They had made a storyline for Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. There you go. They made a storyline for Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Why all of a sudden now you're making it a complex? You're saying, oh well, now they don't have to, now they have storylines, or they could.
The other thing coming into this too is, remember, I just said it a little bit ago. The 5 years is almost up.
Well, obviously that if they did those titles and they're gonna have a WWE experience, or they have a WWE experience in Saudi Arabia,
maybe the titles were part of that to sweeten the deal, to be like, okay, we'll keep doing this because we've already built the experience over here. Now we got these titles that will defend once a year, or not even defend. They're just, somebody will win once a year here, and now you re-up that deal. I mean,
you don't think that they were gonna re-up the deal either way, with or without those titles?
I mean, is it the same amount of money? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't know what the talks are. Are they trying to add more money to it? Or are they trying to, again, right now it's only 2 events. Do they make it 3 events a year? And now because you got Netflix too now. Netflix can go wherever.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna see eye to eye when it comes to this, man. That's just, to be honest with you. And at the end of the day, like I told you, I did not agree with the results of the pay-per-view. I thought, I agree with you 100% that Nia Jax should have won it, and I knew they weren't gonna give Cody a loss. I knew that they were gonna give.
My problem with the thing too, though, is that, like with the Nia Jax thing, I feel like Tiffany Stratton has become bigger than Nia, and Nia's the champion.
Yep.
Like, everybody's waiting when she's wrestling for the music to hit, Tiffy time, and then they pop. They're waiting for it now. It's become, that thing there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. And again, I don't necessarily look. You make the titles or whatever they're going to be. I did not like. And again, if you're going to, you had the bloodline there, and again, looking at it now, I guess the Civil War is going to be 4-on-4, right? It's not going to be 5-on-5. It's going to be 4-on-4. I'm guessing.
Maybe, I guess.
Because if it goes 5-on-5, they have to add somebody.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Solo has to add somebody. They only have 4 in their camp, so they would have to add somebody to make it 5-on-5. Because ultimately, I think Sammy's going to be the 4th person on that team. It'll be old bloodline against new bloodline. But we'll see where that goes. And we saw a little bit more of that on the
Monday night,
and things there too. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out heading to Survivor Series.
I
feel like they got to pick it up a little bit.
I will say this: I did like Sammy using social media and they edited that photo and they put, they plugged in Sammy in there.
Yeah, and he said it was a Friday.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was that got more of a reaction for me than Crown Jewel, to be honest with you. I I thought that was smart.
I think Crown Jewel was more of the planting because you saw that one when Raw ended. It was Solo talking to Sammy, not when it ended, but the last scene with Jay and Jimmy. And then so now you see Sammy come out. It looks like, oh man, did I just drop?
No. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought I dropped. I saw you go off the screen. I'm like, man, I dropped. And then you see all that, and to see that, they finally put it out there, and then now you're gonna wait to see, where it goes from there. That to me, again, those are like the little things that I like to see. What I've liked to see something more, maybe, but I do like the fact too, though, that it wasn't a hug fest. You know what I'm saying? Like all of them got in the corners, and then it was another miscue. It was the whole, like Sammy said, Jay, I'm here for you. I'm here for you and you only. You're the only one. And he said, Jimmy, you're the one that brought me into this. And now we're even further apart than, you know what I mean? Because now you've watched the whole thing play out, and now it was Sammy kicking, Roman, and now you see where it goes. I like that part of it, to where it's not just, hey, it's the four of them. Oh, they hug. Great. Okay, we go back. Because there's still the thing there. You saw it was when they entered, it was Roman and Jimmy together. Jay came out by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still having that, do they trust each other? Do they not? Type of thing, which to me makes it, at least enjoyable from that end of it as far as it goes.
And if you kind of look at a couple things too, man, you're noticing that Jay's popularity is growing, man.
Through the roof, bro. Through the roof.
And Roman is noticing that too.
Yeah. Well, he likes it. I that's what he wanted this to be. Remember when he sits in the thing, he's like, yes, yeah, but it's for this. It's for, for the bloodline. It's for the family. It's
for now
elevating everybody. For me right now, it's me, but it's to elevate the family. Now, do I think that he thought Jay was going to take off as quick as he did? I don't know. But once he got the, distanced himself from his brother, and he was no longer the Usos, and he was Jay Uso, main event Jay Uso, I think it allowed him to grow even more. And then now the fact that they do all this stuff with him interacting with the crowd before the match, and then, I think it just elevates to when that music hits, and, the day one, and then it just goes, and the hands are going up and down, and it's a vibe, man. It's a vibe now.
And you know what? I think they did something smart on Monday night as well by going ahead and putting Sammy and saying Sammy Uso, because remember, everybody knows about Usi and all that stuff. So by them saying Sammy Uso, now they have another little catchy thing to
phrase. Yeah, because you're gonna see the shirt. Remember when Sammy was going through it, right? He had the one shirt, and they ripped the shirt off, and you're like, oh, here they go. They're gonna beat the crap out of Sammy. And Roman said, no, here's your new shirt. And it was the Sammy, I think it said Sammy Uso actually on it, not whatever it was before. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes there. Maxie the Pounder, for me, Roman Reigns was not defeated. He needed a rest, so I think he deserves to be the king of Crown Jewel. Whether the winner of a belt, he remains the tribal chief. Look, there's only one tribal chief. It is the OTC. And there is only one extreme. And it's ECW.
Oh, now you're out of the camera. Now we only have the Squared Circle fans logo. I like it. And on the thing it says offline. I don't know why. That's crazy. On your right hand side, on like the lower part of the box, it says offline. I don't know why. Try to click on your camera, disable it, and come and click on it again. See if that works. Oh, it doesn't give you that option? All right, let's see. Let's see if it continues. Let's see if Sean comes back, because Sean just left and he's back, and no, he still doesn't. The video still doesn't show. No camera. No camera, Sean. You're still off. Now we can't even hear you if you're talking. So now you're I think you even made it a little bit worse. We can't hear you at all, sir. I can't even hear you. No. I know you're talking because the logo lights up, but now we can't even hear you, sir. It's like you made it worse. You just made it worse. Can you even hear me? If you could hear me, write something on the chat board. Anyways, I guess while Sean tries to figure out what's going on. Okay, so Sean can at least hear me. Um, so but we can't hear you at all, Sean. I don't know what happened. Did you come in and come back out? Did you try that again? Try come out and come back in. See if that works one more time. And see if that option if it gives you that option. Okay, I hear clicking. I hear clicking. Say something. Yes, we could hear you. We could at least I can hear you, but it's just funny. Look at the bottom. I don't know if you look at the very bottom set. Does it show like a little camera with like a line on it? That's weird. I wonder why. I wonder why it did that. I could still hear you because it is. I don't think they could hear you. Hold on. I'm on. Yeah, no, I could hear myself because I'm on YouTube and I can hear myself. I can't hear you, Sean. They can't hear you. They can only hear me. Guys, this is what happens when we do a show on a Thursday. Never again on a Thursday. Yeah, I can't hear Sean. Exactly. Your dad is saying that. Yeah, I'm on. I have it on my phone as well, just to see if I can hear Sean, but I can't hear him. I can't hear him at all. And the thing is, if Sean jumps out and jumps back on, I think the problem is the live will disconnect. So I don't know if that's the case right now. But all right, well, I guess while Sean figures it out, hopefully he comes back. We'll talk NX stream reaction. And hold on a sec. It looks like Sean's internet is the only thing the Dolphins traded. Karoon, I see you. Karoon, yeah, like I mean, no, you want to know something? Sean's internet is just as bad as the Dolphins overall in general. That's how bad Sean's internet is today. Everything. The thing is that I think what happens with Sean is that I think he uses Wi-Fi only. So in order for you to get really, really good internet connection from your Wi-Fi router, you should use the Ethernet cord. And that's what I have. So my Ethernet router is downstairs because my office, my streaming office is on the second floor. So literally I run an Ethernet cord from downstairs all the way upstairs. That way I don't run into this situation. No, I am hardwired. It's the construction. Hello, Indy Frankie season's been yeah, I know it's been rough. Well then look, Sean, um I don't know what to tell you. In the meantime, I mean keep logging in and out. See if something happens because I can't even invite you. Can I invite you? Let me see. Can I invite you? I can't even invite anybody. So it's for me it's hard. I can't even do anything. Yeah, there's nothing I could do from my end. Sorry, guys. I apologize that we're having these technical difficulties. This is what happens when we stream on a Thursday. So never again on a Thursday. But hopefully Sean just keeps coming in and out, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, I guess in the meantime, I'll keep going. NX stream reaction, right? So Sean said he liked the in ring action. I could hear you. Hold on. Say something again. Hold on. Yeah, I see. Yeah, same thing. Can't hear. I don't know why, man. So what's happening, guys, is I could hear him in my headphones, but I can't. You can't. You guys can't hear him, which is the weirdest thing ever. I don't get it. I don't understand why. What about if you send yourself an own invite? Can you do that? Hopefully, maybe sending yourself an invite for yourself. Maybe you could hear it. We could probably like mess around with it and bring 3 screens instead of 2. Um. All right. So in the or you know what? Click on the link, Sean, that you sent me, and see if it works. Just on the email and see if you could jump on board as well, and maybe you could come in that way as well. Maybe we could try that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Sean to jump on, hopefully he could get this resolved. Back to N Extreme. The wrestling was good. The wrestling was fine. I will say this. I think they did a good job starting with the first match. The first match did deliver. Lola Vice versus Jada Parker. Very nice. For Lola Vice's first hardcore type of match, I thought she did pretty good. I obviously she has some areas she needs to improve on. You could tell on that match that there was points where she was oh, I see you. I see you, Sean. So do this. Mute yourself on the main one, and then see if you could add yourself on the third one as a third view. And just put the overlay on top of yourself. Can you do that? Cuz I see you now. And that would be creativeness right there, baby. That's us working some magic. Yeah, so I think the fact that Lola Vice did deliver as far as the hardcore match, she just needs to work on a couple moves. I mean, it was her first hardcore match. If you look at it, there was a couple times when she was just standing there waiting for Jada Parker to do her thing on it. But as far as the show is concerned, it was it was better than Dynamite. I could tell you that much. And I know we're going to talk about Dynamite thoughts in the next topic. But it was definitely. Oh, there you are, Sean. We see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right.
You're a little bit loud. You're a little bit loud.
Yeah, you are too.
Hold on. You're sounding a little bit loud. Talk to me. Say something.
Hold on, let me cut this down.
Oh, your mic is not on. That's why.
There we go. How about now?
Yeah, we could hear you, but your mic is not on. We could only hear it from your webcam.
No. It's not the webcam. The problem is I have to mute one or both mics go on at the same time.
You have to mute me.
No, both mine are working. So the other one's still working. So I muted that one and now I'm playing this one, if that makes sense.
But why can't you just have both of them running in the same mic and just mute the first one?
I did. That's the problem.
Oh, because it would mute both of them.
Watch, I'm going to unmute the one, and now you hear me. It echoes.
It does echo, yeah. But it sounds like you're going from the webcam. So
no, well, I don't think it picked up from the webcam, but
I think that's what happened. But at least we could see you. Can let me see? Can guys on the chat board? Can you guys hear Sean as well? Besides seeing him, because at least we see you now, and you're moving. Worst case scenario, we'll just go with what we can, with what you're at least.
Let's go with this right now and see what happens.
Yeah, and let us know if you could hear it. I'm just trying to see if Let me see. Worst case scenario, just go with. Can you hear yourself when you're talking?
Yeah.
You do hear yourself. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So back to an extreme reaction. So I think the issue here with an extreme reaction is the fact that they dropped upon a couple of things. If you kind of remember, me and Sean were saying, hey, we hope that they give ECW a good homage. Or, like we want them to go ahead and highlight ECW, and I think they tried that. It just wasn't sold 100%, and I'll give you reasons why, and then Sean, you could chime in as well. I think the number one thing they dropped the ball, and I'm sorry guys, it's they didn't have Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is ECW, and whether I don't know if maybe he's just he's busy because he's been out of the storyline and all that stuff. But I agree with Sean. They should have brought in Paul Heyman in Crown Jewel, or they should have then done something, even, or they could have done a video montage or something of Paul Heyman, something to go ahead and pay homage to Paul Heyman. And you kind of didn't do it. You left us wanting that. You left the fans hoping for that. And then the other areas that I felt like was a kind of like too much of of like not the greatest was, you had RVD, and me and Sean were talking about it, and he didn't wrestle. He got attacked backstage by Wesley, but that's it. That's all he did. And then you got Nuncio out there, which was cool, but then he's wrestling, and dude, it was a throwaway fight, but it just wasn't. Come on, man. We know that he's not, he's not there anymore. He's old. Unfortunately, he's an old timer. He can't hang anymore. RVD can still hang, and just like Bubba Ray Dudley, he can hang, but Devon can't anymore. Obviously. So, but that doesn't mean that you can't still have him. You saw how they brought in Devon, and he brought the table and all that stuff. So that was cool. But it just it looks like, compared to AEW, it was way better, a way more better show. But when it comes to comparing it to ECW and giving ECW a respect that we want, just wasn't. I wasn't sold. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, no, I mean, we discussed it, and it was a show, but the problem was,
Hold
it
on,
was
hold on. Now you're cutting in and out, bro. Now
the
you're
problem,
cutting. Now
the
you're
problem
cutting.
I had was it was WWE more than ECW, and that's to me where they dropped the ball. It's,
Kind of like the NWO of WWE compared to the NWO of WCW, right?
it's what I've always said about VKM. If it's not his creation, he will be the one to destroy that creation.
Let me ask you something, Sean. Let me ask you something. Do this. Mute your guest one, and then put unmute your the right one. Yeah. Now let me say something. Let me see if I could hear you. Hold on. Hold on. No, they can't hear you. It doesn't sound. It doesn't sound. Because for me it sounds perfect, but it doesn't sound on the live stream, unfortunately. Sorry, we were trying. We were trying something. It would have been great. It would have worked. It was a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute again your main one and unmute the other one, because that's the only way it's gonna sound for the live stream. And again, sorry guys, it's just we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. This is what happens to us on a Thursday when we do a show, but it's okay. It's okay. Wait, don't tell me, Sean. Did you freeze? You didn't freeze, right? Okay, okay. You haven't frozen, but we can't hear. You seem so down. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. We're good. We're good. Don't worry. Shit happens, guys. Shit happens, right? This is the beautiful thing about being on a live show and trying a different program for streaming. This is what happens. It doesn't. Not everything always falls into plan, but uh, we work with it. But while Sean tries to figure that out, I think what happened, what Sean said is absolutely right. If you guys were able to at least hear what he said, was that we did get a WWE ECW instead of a ECW, and you're right. I think it was, and here's the issue, guys. I know it's the CW. I know it's the CW. But you have people sticking out the middle fingers. You had people cursing, and then you block all that stuff. You understand me? So, was that the right call to do that show on a Wednesday, or should they have done this type of show on a pay per view, on a live event? That way, you don't have to block none of this stuff. That way, you don't have to go and like take away the background. Like, you saw people sticking out the birds, and then you would see that the CW would blur out the whole screen because they didn't want people to see anybody sticking the birds. This is not AEW. So it was just good idea, but not performed to the liking, I think, that a lot of us who are ECW fans and that are hardcore old school guys. Maybe the new generation was cool with it, but the old school guys, it just wasn't for us. It felt a little bit short. And but I will say this. If you cuz I watched both shows, the Dynamite and the NXT one. And if you look at the crowd was impressive. The crowd was, I see what you're doing, Sean. That's why you're a executive, that's why you're the executive producer, because I know what you're doing, and I think it might work. I think it actually might work as well. So, because I can hear you, and I know you're gonna be using, I think you're gonna, I know what you're doing is trying to use the speaker off of your phone, which would be smart. Um, but yeah, so I think that's the thing that's gonna happen. I think the crowd for the NXT show was an ECW crowd. That was loud. That was actually an AEW crowd. That because that AEW crowd on Dynamite was dead. They wasn't an AEW crowd, but that NXT crowd was live, was rowdy, was crazy, was good. And then the other thing too is they had a lot of spots. They brought RVD, they brought Bully Ray and Devon. They brought Rhino, who was nobody expected Rhino out there as well. Obviously, they brought Nuncio. So they had those guys. They had Don Marie, Francine was out there. That was pretty cool that she was on the crowd as well. You know, but it's just you know there's so many guys out there that you could have brought as well, man. Like it could have been so much. It could have been Sandman. It could have been Paul Heyman. It could have been just incredible. It could have been so many guys that are different, and it just did not. It fell short, man. It just fell short. Sean, say something. That way we could hear you.
I am hoping this works.
Okay, lower it down a little bit. It's really loud.
Let me see what I got.
Not gonna lie. It's really loud.
Hold on. Is that better?
Keep going down a little
Is
bit.
that getting better?
No, not really. We could hear you, but you sound really, really loud. Now you muted yourself. No, I can't hear you at all.
So, good now?
Lower it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Say something?
I'm here.
No, I mean, whatever. I guess we'll go with it. It's not a big deal. If you guys are listening,
How's that sound?
Whew, that sounds loud.
How's that sound?
It sounds loud.
Damn it. What did I do differently? Hold on a minute. Screw it. I'm going the other way.
Oh, yeah. It sounds really loud. That's why. So while Sean is putting on his earring, uh, and it looks like if you were putting your earring on. It literally sounded like you were. It looked like if you were putting an earring on.
All right, can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes, yes. You definitely
All
sound
right,
a lot better.
all right, we'll figure this out. We'll go from
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It sounds good. I think
I'll
we
look
could
at
work.
everybody. I'm not
We,
sure where I'm looking, so there we go.
we're good. You're Gucci. You're Gucci. And you got that. You know what? You got that shiny, bright light hitting straight on your right, like right there. Stay right there. That way it could hit your forehead. I mean, your bald head right there. Oh, there. No, no, no.
There we go. I got a glare coming from the side. There we
There.
go.
I want it. No, it's the tribal chief. You know, it's zooming straight at you, sir. You're.
Screw you
I
and
got you.
everything you wrote up on.
No, but you
You know
sound a
what?
lot. You sound a
I
lot better
thought
though.
I was going to have an issue because when I was setting up, it was going in and out,
Yeah.
but then was fine. And now all of a sudden, I'm doing this.
No, but it sounds good. It sounds a
Extreme,
lot.
baby. Extreme.
It sounds a lot better than before. So I'm pretty sure people are good with it. We'll be able to hear it. So give us your opinion, sir. I know you wanted to say something about the obviously the an extreme. What did you want to say?
No, it just, again, it was a watered down version. They didn't use what I thought could have been used as far as the ECW talent that they could get. I just, again, you could have done montages for the old. You could have had Sandman, Sabu montages or the ECW type things. I like the intro where it was the extreme, intro and things like that. But I feel like you could have done more. You could have done more, and you didn't. And for whatever reason, it is what it is. But you're at that arena. You're probably not going to run that arena again. It
Yeah.
felt like a good time to where you could just kind of be like, and especially if the Paul Heyman thing, like, hey, he just went to the Hall of Fame. You have that opportunity and nothing. And
Right.
again, I said, I don't know if they did it off camera and they said, please, nobody record it. But obviously, you haven't heard anything about it from anybody. So I got to believe that he was not involved at all in the show.
It just felt like you said, man. It felt like WWE production, and it felt a little bit short. It felt a little bit short. Like I said earlier, I think they should have done this like in a live event. Like they should have done a pay per view because then they should have. I think they rushed into it, maybe I guess, and they assumed that this was gonna work. But in reality, Sean, it just felt a little bit short. Now, did the wrestling deliver? Of course it did. I thought it was really good storylines that we developed. I mean, like I said, the Lullabies, Jada Parker was really good. Jada Parker won, and you could tell why she won. She is definitely she's better than Lola Vice. She
Yeah,
deserved to win.
Lola's
And
a little green still.
she's still too green. It makes sense. Like it's crazy, but if I'm not mistaken, Lola Vice was in NXT first before Jada Parker, or has Jada Parker been there before her?
I think they got there around the same
Around the time.
time. But
I
again, it's one of those things too where Jada is an athlete, whereas Lola's coming out of the fighting realm. And sometimes it's harder to learn to ease up than it is to just learn clean. You're because she's used to, choking people out and throwing punches. Now you've got to hold back and again, think about it. It was Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, and Bobby Lashley, if you want to throw him in there now recently. Those are the only ones I know that have done, you know, big time MMA and wrestling. So, and of course, I know there's other ones. I know Filthy Tom Lawler, but I believe
Jack
he
Hager,
was,
Jake Hager.
yeah, Hager's done some, but
He did
but
he,
would you
he
put
did he did
put it on
Bellator
the
stuff.
level? What did he do?
He did Bellator stuff.
Well, then still, no, Bellator's fine. That's what Lashley was, Bellator type things. So,
Ronda
I mean,
Rousey.
yeah, yeah, I know. You know my thoughts on Ronda Rousey.
But Ronda Rousey delivered when she was in WWE. She
Here's
delivered.
another
I
good.
mean, Shayna Baszler delivered as well. But I mean, you have the damn it, I forgot her name. She was part of that little group that they did for a minute
Well,
there.
even Marina Shafir and those, they came from that group
Yeah.
as well. So, and not saying that, again, this is the other thing too. It's
CM Punk.
different. It's, oh, Jesus Christ.
He did UFC.
Okay, here's my CM Punk um, MMA imitation.
That's pretty
We're looking at the
accurate.
lights, baby.
That is pretty correct.
Although more
Pretty
guts
accurate.
than me, because I ain't walking in there if somebody punch me in the damn face for $1,000 or whatever the hell it is.
Nah, he had to get paid. He had to
No,
get
I'm sure he did, but if you break a bone or whatever, you lose that in a hospital bill. Screw that.
I mean, it's for the love of the sport, right? And you
Okay,
gotta
love of the
and if you
sport. He
and if
did
you're
2 shows, and it's like, I
and
don't
if
love
you
it anymore.
well, not it's not that he didn't love it anymore. It's the fact
It
that
didn't love him.
no, he realized it wasn't for him. That's what happened. He tried it out and he found out like, yo, this is a
I
lot harder
love
than what
you, but you don't love me.
this was a lot more harder than what I thought, and that's why he had to like say, okay, screw it. I'm not gonna continue with this. I'm going out of I'm getting out of here. I think that's what eventually happened. So, you know, unfortunately, that. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree. With Jada Parker winning, I
Yeah.
agree with. I thought it was cool that Rich Holland won, obviously, because you want to set up him against Trick.
Hmm.
And then the surprise, obviously, was Zarya spearing this girl, Jordan Grace. So now that's gonna bring some heat maybe
Yeah,
between
but
those two
you didn't
girls.
really see it play out at the end. I mean, I know Jordan kind of
Jordan looked at her.
she was looking at her, but you had Zarya win and pin Roxanne. So I think there's going to be that. But now does Jordan Grace cost Zarya? That's going to be kind of where they go because remember, Jordan Grace has lost the TNA title. There's talk that her contract, I believe, is up at the end of 2024.
Hmm.
So is she making that jump and that'll be her first feud? Because that's a pretty good ass feud,
Yeah, those are two big
you know?
girls, bro.
And the other thing that you notice from that match, they're stacked in the women's division.
What,
Man.
bro? You know what I like too? I'm not gonna
And
lie.
like when you were talking about Lola Vice, that's why she can wait. There's no need to rush her. Look at all this. What is she going to do? If you rush her, what, you're just going to put her up with the other 10?
And did you see when they had Lash Legend and
Mhm.
Jackson in the back, and they already have that image of
Yeah.
WWE
Yep.
SmackDown and Raw? Like I was like, man, these girls are NXT girls, but they already have that image of SmackDown
Well,
and Raw. So you're like, damn,
there's
dude,
talk that they've been brought up. I don't
you
know if it's accurate.
you have to bring them. You have to bring them. They delivered. I thought in Crown
Yeah.
Jewel they did a pretty good job. So
Fantastic.
I thought they could hang already in the main roster, and they
Yeah.
have the look. They're
Yeah.
they're tall girls. They're big. It looks good. They could hang out. And remember, we didn't talk about it too much in Crown Jewel, but remember they're doing that little spin now where they're trying to create. Now we're starting to see a little bit of that doubt between Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill. Did you see that they're starting
Yeah.
to tell us that stuff? So
And then also the Royal Rumble, the Battle Royal on Raw, they were out there and they were added in, and then they showed it. They were the only two left in the ring because they wanted to see the response. Although I don't know why you did it in Saudi Arabia and not do it in front of a U.S. crowd to see what reaction was like, because you're going to get a reaction there.
well,
So
did you like the fact that Io Sky won that, or did you prefer Liva Valkyria should have won it?
I think with Liv as the champion, I don't mind EO. I don't think you could have, honestly, you wouldn't have went wrong either way.
Okay.
But I think EO can take losses more than Lyra. And I don't think either one of them were going to unseed Liv. So maybe the thinking is let's put EO there because she can take the losses where Lyra's been losing and we can't have her keep losing, if that makes sense.
Well, I agree with you that they both can take an L, and
Yeah.
I would have preferred Lyra because Lyra's a baby more than Io is,
Well, they've
and
been pushing Io and Kyrie
I did
as
notice that. Yeah,
babies.
yeah, I did notice that they're starting to
And
do that.
also, you have to remember the other thing too is Lyra's already lost her chance at the title the one time. So now she goes for a second time and loses. Whereas at least Io's had a title and she can take the losses. If you keep never winning the belt, that becomes you.
You think so? Because look at Cody.
Yeah, well, look what happened. That was his story, right? Are we
That's
going
what.
to do that with Lyra? Is
Well,
that what Lyra's going to be the story?
that's not a bad idea. That's not a
It's
bad
not.
idea.
I would love to see a female
You could do that with.
version of that. That
Yeah,
would be pretty good, man.
that's
It'd be
actually an
good.
interesting thing.
But it needs to be somebody that, like,
That, no, well, people didn't love Cody, and then it's just they started loving him.
well, it's what Dusty did. You start feeling so bad for him that you have an emotion, and then you start wanting them to win.
Yeah, that's
It becomes a movement. It's
yeah.
like, dude, you
You know
can
what?
never win the big one,
That's
but I
true.
believe you can win it.
That is
And
true.
it's what
And,
it's what.
and it's kind of like the same thing with like when Rey Mysterio or when Eddie
Mhm.
Guerrero, that those guys were too
Yeah,
small to win a belt, and then they
yeah.
finally won one. So you're right. Maybe they could do it with her. Maybe they could
No,
start
it's the
making her
easiest
lose.
thing to have people latch onto and get invested in because it's real. That to me, and again, I know what wrestling is, people. I get it. But if you can at least make the emotions that you feel real, then that's you're doing your job. And I see that more happening in WWE than in others.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about
Yeah.
AEW in just a minute. But
Hmm.
any last thing you wanted to say about N Extreme?
No, I just thought it could have been more, but it was okay.
Did you see that they did better increase in viewership than AEW?
Well, AEW, what it tells me is that people will watch NXT over AEW
Yeah, and let me
because the
ask.
AEW audience left, the NXT stayed because NXT is doing between 600 and 720 have been the highs and lows. This was 623. So you stayed in that audience. Dynamite fell to 523.
Yeah,
So
what happened there to the AEW
what
crowd?
we always say, man, I feel like I always say I love wrestling and I love both of the companies. But I always feel like after I listen back to these shows that I always hate on AEW, but it's just because I want the product to, to to really reach the level of talent that they have. And it's tough, man. Watching those guys out there, guys and girls, just leaving it all out there and there's no investment. There's none.
Well, let's jump to the AEW Dynamite thoughts, right? Let's go there now that we're bringing this in. And here's the thing with the whole situation, Sean. When you look at NXT going against AEW Dynamite, right? The first thing we got from NXT was you got Dawn Marie, you got a hardcore match, and you're selling ECW, right? And that crowd is going wild, right? When you look at the AEW side, what you get is MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Sheldon Benjamin talking. And then you get Swerve coming in at the last minute. And then they automatically jump the gun and they already made that fight. Like you didn't even build it. You just jumped the gun immediately and said, hey, Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. Here it is. And for you and me, let's say I had one TV on and I had to choose which one I'm gonna tune into, with both doing simultaneously what they were doing, where would you go? For me, I would have gone to NXT because it was different. And Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the production of WWE look so much way better, even though it's a smaller building, a smaller
Oh,
arena, and it looks
yeah.
way more better than AEW?
But that's what we've always said, though, is their production is so much better. And then, funny, it kind of goes back to what Paul Heyman said all the time is hide the negatives and accentuate the positives. He's like, I'm running in this dingy building. Why am I going to light it up? Light up what? He's like, so I made it dark. I put the focus on the ring. They don't have, he's like, I don't have the production facilities that WWE does. Why
Hold
am I
up.
going to try to compete with that?
Before you continue, by any chance, do you have a hat?
No, you're going to get the glare. Screw you.
Okay, keep on.
Damn you. That better?
No, not really. I don't know why the glare is there. That's so funny. That's
Oh, no.
crazy.
You know what it is? I forgot. We bought these lights for the tent and they're charging.
Oh,
They're not regular lights. They're like,
but wait, when you put the blue thing over for a minute, it did cover it.
yeah, because I put it up high enough
No, no,
probably
no, no,
to.
no, no, you didn't. No,
Look right there.
no, no. Go.
Right there.
Okay, go close to your camera. Go close to your camera. Your camera. Closer. Lower your arm and closer to the camera, and then put it. See, like right there, you're blocking it with your head. But I'm saying
Yeah.
no. But if you put
Okay,
it,
so then I'll do this. How's that?
yeah, it's a lot better.
All right. So we'll do it this way. But if I move, you're screwed.
Okay, I
All
got you.
right. So,
We get a
I
better. We get you. You see, you did move a little bit. Damn it! God damn it!
have to lean in. How you doing, Frankie Frisco?
I love the close up.
We're the intimate Squared Circle Digest today.
I love it. I love the
Oh,
close up.
my goodness.
It only happens to us on a Thursday. Remember,
does.
this will be the last Thursday we ever stream.
Yeah, it will be.
This
This
is
is it.
never. This,
Thursdays do not agree with us. But
all
as I
right,
was saying, Heyman always said,
it's fine. Don't worry.
hide the negatives. And that's what AEW should do. But they try to show and act like they're bigger than what they are. I mean, because if you looked at it, let's go back. Remember, we said All In, they made it look, the one in London was the first time they made it look like a big production. But then I want to ask you this: how far off is it from a WrestleMania production
Oh,
the same way?
it was way off.
So that's the problem,
But
man.
wait, but wait, but wait. I don't have a problem with them trying a little bit more than what they actually delivered, because I'm comparing it to NXT. We're not comparing it to WWE Raw, SmackDown, or a pay-per-view like a WrestleMania. We're comparing it to NXT, Sean.
Yeah, but
NXT.
NXT, when
Look at
they
the light.
travel,
Look at the. You
yeah,
see the lights when they coming in. The lights are
but
like you don't
you
get
have to
that from.
remember when they travel, they're using the the main roster stuff.
Man, it's
They're
just
using the WWE production trucks.
yeah, but
Mm,
Sean, the little entrance when the NXT wrestlers were coming in,
yep.
they were all there was glare, there was lights everywhere. It looked like they were making it seem like it's freaking Monday Night Raw out there, and we all know that it was a small little arena. Why is it that AEW does the exact same thing? Like, Are you telling me you can't afford to put extra lights, extra spotlights, extra do like I don't know, zoom in more with the camera or make it darker like what you said, or do certain things where you're gonna go ahead and be like, damn, you know what? AEW is hiding what you're doing, what they doing, like what Paul Heyman said, hiding stuff that won't look good.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. They just
But
they don't even try.
the question I would have also is, do they hire somebody or do they have their own in-house, you know, cameraman? Because WWE used to have issues until they brought their own cameraman in. And now they have the same camera guys all the time, so they understand how wrestling works. And sometimes, look, yeah, you can do a wide shot, you can do a close shot, but if you don't understand wrestling, you don't understand why the guy's running across the ropes and you're not there and you miss stuff or you catch guys blading. It just, I almost feel like they at least need to get the main cameras
Mhm.
in house.
Yeah.
The other ones you can have backstage, you can pay somebody to stand there and follow the action. That's not an issue. It's in the ring, and you start looking more and more. And it happens all the time. It even happened at the WWE show the other day when McIntyre and Punk. Because sometimes there's just things you can't avoid, but it feels like it happens a lot more on AEW than it does
Yeah,
with
it does.
WWE.
Because even if you look at the production at when we went to that Sunday Stunner, the production of that Sunday Stunner wasn't the
Yeah.
greatest,
No,
but it was still not bad. It
you
was
do understand they only have one cameraman.
who AEW?
No, WWE. On the live stunner shows,
Uh huh.
it's the one camera guy that works around the ring and goes up and down the aisleway
Hmm.
for the for the hard camera, basically.
No, but
That's
what
it.
I'm but it just I don't know, man. But I'm talking
But
about
but
also the
also
entrances and all that stuff too.
that gives them the practice also because those are the same guys that do Raw and SmackDown. So now you're doing those shows, getting ideas. Maybe they try stuff, because those are house shows are for that. You try, hey, how does this camera angle look? Oh,
Stuff like
not good. Not good at all. Let's not use that one anymore. Okay. How about this one? Okay, yeah, yeah, good deal. So there's things you can do and work on.
Sean,
And
let
that's
me
where the live shows, I think, help WWE too, which is going to be interesting because they say they're going to do away with some next year.
Sean, here's a question from me to you. You're paying wrestlers like Mercedes Monet. I think she's making
Yeah.
what, mil or something like that?
How much you said?
10 million, I think.
Oh, I
Uh,
don't know. I heard it's like 3 or 4 million a year.
Okay, you're telling me you can't hire better production for your shows, your camera people that know can get better angles, that know the business, paying these wrestlers $4 million, Sean? Like, come on, man.
Buddy,
Sometimes you need to invest a little bit on the actual
think about this though.
production instead of just the
So
wrestling.
you sit there and you say that, but think about this. He's also in the ownership of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Fulham. They've got other sports entities that use the same stuff.
Yeah, you just use them.
There's, there's, yeah, there's cameras at Jacksonville. Why don't you see? Hey, let us use you on Wednesdays or something. Like, I
Yeah,
don't understand. You have it there, and I don't know that it's going to cost a crap ton more of money. I don't know
no,
what they pay those guys,
I don't think so.
but if you sit there and you say, "Hey, on Wednesdays we're going to alternate. We're going to fly you guys into this town, and then we'll fly you home and keep you for the night." At least you have, more guys you can train the same people. I just don't.
100%.
It doesn't feel like the camera work has gotten any better.
Yeah.
So if it is the same people, then they're just collecting a check because they haven't helped improve the product at all.
And then let's talk about the actual show. So
Mhm.
you obviously have Bobby Lashley. You know, he's
Yep.
the new guy there. He's the new toy, and you automatically square him off with Swerve Strickland. You didn't even build it. You did it. You had him attacked last week by Bobby Lashley, and then all of a sudden now the match is
Mhm.
on for a pay per view. Like,
Yeah.
where's the build up? Where is the storyline when it comes to this? Like, it just didn't make any sense to make that match so quickly. You're It's like, Sean, you and me could go ahead and be like, man, what's a hell of a fight we could do? Oh, Bobby Lashley versus Will Ospreay. If we say that to Tony Khan is gonna go ahead and be like, yo,
Oh,
that's a good fight. Let me do it next week.
let's
That's
do it on
it.
Dynamite.
Yeah, let's
That's the
do
problem.
and let's
They
do it in
should have
Collision.
had the Shelton Benjamin match should have been at Full Gear. That's when you debut Bobby Lashley. You can hint at it. You can have MVP on the phone talking to him, so you can hint it and throw the nuggets. I feel like they rushed it, but that's what Tony Khan seems to do with everything.
But now, but you say we both have said that you have more autonomy in your character in AEW than in WWE.
Yeah.
If I'm Bobby Lashley or I'm Sheldon Benjamin, wouldn't I go to Tony Khan and be like, Tony, maybe we shouldn't rush into it. Maybe we should try to hold off and try to use this
Oh,
matchup in the pay-per-view. Do you think that they actually approach him and ask him that, or they just run with the show and be like, okay, yeah, whatever, you're paying me. I'm just here to wrestle.
well, the problem is Lashley hasn't wrestled in what, 6 months?
Hmm.
Because WrestleMania, he didn't have a match. It's been a while. So I'm sure he wanted to get back into that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a catch-22 because if you are a wrestler, you don't turn down those
You don't turn
opportunities to
down
be
work.
on TV
Yeah,
because somebody else will take it. And
100%.
then, again, I don't know that it's as competitive there as it would be like a WWE or something, but
That's a good
I
point.
I gotta believe, they want to get in and you know they want to make the money, they want to improve the company, but like you said, I just feel like they rush things. It's like, oh, we got to do an oh shit moment on Dynamite, but then there's nobody watching to know if it's an oh shit moment. You know what I'm saying? It's really a catch-22 because I'll tell you, I watched the MVP first, then I went to NXT. So,
Now, why?
I
Okay, but now let me get your train of thought on that. Why?
Mhm.
Why did you do the MVP instead of going to the NXT first? What was your train of thought?
Because I want to see what they're going to do with the Hurt Syndicate
Okay,
because I feel the Hurt business could have made big money in WWE,
okay.
but they didn't allow it. Now they have free reign. Where does it go? That has me intrigued to see how they go and how they present it and everything else. I mean, they're bullying Ricochet in the back. So obviously, at some point, I feel Swerve and Ricochet are probably going to take on Lashley and Benjamin on one of these dynamites. But also, Ricochet's involved with this now 8-man tag with the family. So, again, I don't know where it's heading, but it has tickled my fancy to see what they do with it because they are running with the ball now. So I'm
For
very interested to see what they do.
for me, I tuned into the NXT more than the Hurt business, and I'll tell you why. Number one, NXT has been promoting the crap out of this ECW type of vibes, right?
Mhm.
Number two, they have been promoting the crap out of Lola Vice versus Jada Parker this whole time as well. So
Mhm.
they're every week I'm listening and they're feeding me this news. Hey, fight ECW
Yep.
Arena Wednesday night, not Tuesday, but Wednesday. This and that. The first thing that starts, the first music I see montages of NXT combined with ECW. The production and just that. The crowd getting involved, the crowd going wild. I'm gonna tune into it. It's like the way I look at it is there's 2 football games, right? And both football games are about to start. But I see that this football game, all of a sudden, you have a crowd, you have people cheering, going wild and crazy, and then on this crowd, it's kind of dull. It's kind of like, it's the same thing. It's gonna be a good match, but there's nothing that's enticing me. I'm gonna tune into the one that looks more exciting, even though they both are relevant, they both are important. But this one's just sold me better. This company sold me better for at least
Mhm.
the first couple minutes, even though the Hurt Business is something that they're trying to build up. And again, I agree with you 100%. I think the Hurt Business could have made them a lot of money in WWE. I think hopefully they could run with it. But again, the problem is you go ahead and you spoil Bobby Lashley's return by throwing him on a random ass dynamite. And then number two, you started off with just them talking, and then Swerve comes out, which is what we typically would have all figured that would have happened. And then Swerve didn't even do anything. Like he was just they were holding him back.
Yeah, he
And
just yelled out "full gear," and
come on, man.
MVP said, "We'll see you there, kid." And that was it. And that was the last bit I saw last night of Dynamite. Then I went to NXT and watched the rest of the show.
It just doesn't sell, man. And then if you look at Dynamite, so then you obviously you got Jada Parker and Lola Vice, and I'm watching them two duke it out. I'm noticing that there's a little bit of botches here, a little bit of
Yeah.
botches there, and
Oh,
stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so let me switch it. Let me switch it to A Dynamite. Maybe A Dynamite got better, right? Now something's happening. The next match that happened after that, if I'm not mistaken, who was the match? I know it was the Jericho. I think it was the Jericho Learning Tree versus
yeah. Conglomeration.
the Commeration. I think that was the next match that was going
Mhm.
on at the same time that Lola Vice and Jada Parker. And I'll tell you what, that match was doing really well. It really was. It was you had Big Bill duking it out in the back with Kyle O'Reilly. That was cool. It reminded me a little bit of like the old school AEW that they would go backstage and you would have them duking it out and all that stuff. But again, I go back to the NXT side, and then I see the crowd loud again. Javon Evans, I believe, was against Wesley, and you had RVD out there, and you had all this stuff, and I'm like, man, again, they're just selling me a lot better into tuning into NXT than into AEW. AEW is not selling me. I think the problem, Sean, and we've always said it, besides the storylines, besides the production, it's just that I, I don't think they do a really good job in trying to sell to the crowd anything outside of wrestling. That's it. All they sell us is the wrestling.
Oh, they were the best wrestler.
We've heard that like 20 million times.
Yeah.
But if you're a company and you want to succeed, it's not only about we're the
That's what I
best
said.
wrestler.
You have to hit the casual wrestling fans, unfortunately. I get what their stance is, but you can see that it's not working. You
No,
got to
man.
make some changes. You have brought in talent after talent after talent, and the numbers, and I get it, the rating numbers, because there's so many people to watch it now. But to me, if your numbers started at 800 on that, and now they're getting 523, that's 300,000 people, or however it equates out, that
That,
you've lost.
that tuned out, yeah.
They've tuned you out. And even on that, it's a consistent 620 when it's not going head to head with NXT. So that means over 200,000 have tuned you out of your fans.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. And then they go and they do this fight between Adam Cole and Malachi Black.
Mhm.
And when you're looking at that match, they also had botches left and right. They
Yeah.
weren't the cleanest. And then you have a random Malachi Black hugging Adam Cole, and he leaves. It leaves you wondering what happened to Malachi. Is he leaving AEW? Is he going back to WWE? I heard rumors that supposedly his contract is up at the end of the year, and that's why he was kind of leaving. But then he went on social media saying that that's not the case, that he's not leaving or anything like that. I don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
But then
Well, I
you got
know Fightful put out a thing
okay.
that he requested in 2022 when Triple H first took over. He
To let him,
asked to let go.
yeah, to release him. Yeah, I
And
remember that.
Tony Khan said no. And with that, everybody believed his contract was ending in 2024. So everybody's beliefs is he's going back to WWE. Now I
Can
know
you
he
blame
went
him?
online. I know what he said,
Hmm.
but he never said I'm leaving. He said no, I'm not leaving now. What happens in 30 days? What
Have
happens
you
when
got?
his contract is up? Because that's the thing too. Like WWE got upset at some people for the way they worded the releases that were happening with Baron Corbin,
Yeah.
Indy Hartwell, and Tegan Knox. They didn't release them. They're just not renewing their contracts. So technically, yes, they released them, but in actuality, their contract expired. So it's just we're not re-signing them. They're not getting fired. They're not being let go. It's just their contract is over. And when it ends, we're not renewing.
Yeah.
So, again, it's all in the terminology of how you say it. And the fact that he never said, I'm not leaving AEW. He didn't say it like that. He just said, no, I'm not leaving. Didn't put a time frame. It's just very, very general.
Yeah.
No, I'm not leaving. So, again, you take it for what it is, enjoy it. But like this is the other thing where Tony Khan, if he is leaving, and he did the right thing by doing the job for Adam Cole to extend there, but you created that by what Adam Cole said. Why does any of that need to be said out there? You want to do one of those AEW behind the scenes and Adam talk about how Malachi Black, one of the toughest guys I've ever been in the ring with, and this and that. But to do it in front of a live audience, it goes back to what happened in Madison Square Garden. That's what started the whole thing, right? The curtain call. Oh, Triple H no longer winning King of the Ring. Shawn Michaels is on his way out. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash going to, but those are the things like why that doesn't have to be on your TV time. He spent 2 minutes of your TV time thanking a guy that might be leaving you.
And leaving to your competition.
Yeah, like, and then I get that he's been there and he's done everything, but it's like, no, there's a time and a place for that, and it's not there. Like, it almost to me felt like Adam Cole was groveling to be a baby face. Like, I know you guys like me. We'll give it up for Malachi Black in a way. And I honestly, when I saw some of it, because I saw everybody's like, is Malachi retiring? Is he leaving? So I looked back at it and like, I don't, I don't get what he's doing because at first I said maybe they're making Malachi Black a babyface. Maybe because I think they're gonna separate the House of Black, give Brody King a run, keep Malachi Black and Buddy Murphy, maybe turn them babyface. But then I read the Fightful thing. It's like if his contract's up, oh, then he's probably going.
Yeah.
So
And everything on social media was saying, "Hey, it looks like it's going away. Like, thank
yeah,
you so much."
no,
And he's
100%.
out.
I'm saying you don't do that like out in front of people, like because like I said, I thought it was just Adam Cole doing the whole babyface thing, but then I'm like, no, there's more to it. There's more to it.
So, do you think they should have not done that with Malachi Black, or they could have done that maybe on a Collision where they don't have that many viewers in either way, and they could just do it in a Collision instead of doing it in Dynamite, or should they have done it like maybe like in a dark match or something like that?
No, because you're working the whole Adam Cole 3 victories to take on MJF thing. And that was his second victory. It's Buddy Murphy, it's Malachi Black, and then next week makes no damn sense to me.
Yeah, he called on this guy. The
He's taking on Takeshita.
yeah, he called this guy, the guy with the I forgot his
I
name.
know he called Callis
Yeah,
to do it,
and
but
then they put Takeshka on there.
you got Archer, you got Cage. Like, so they're going to go, it's a non title match. You know what's going to happen, right? I mean, Cole's got to win it
Of course.
at this point. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, when I saw that, I was like, I rewound it twice to hear what Excalibur said. I was like, what? Takeshita? Adam Cole for his
I,
third win?
and how? Why would MJF call Callis, and then Callis go ahead and pick Takeshka out of everybody to wrestle? Like again, you're selling us. I think that the situation is that maybe Tony Khan feels, hey, if I got Adam Cole versus I don't know, a Brian Cage, people are not going to tune in. But people are not tuning in either way.
They're not tuning in.
For
That's just,
Takeshka versus Adam Cole, I'm not like thrilled. I'm like, yes, that's a great match. I'm gonna tune in
no.
next Wednesday. I see like, okay, cool.
But see, it was a great match when you hadn't seen Takeshka over and over and over and over again. It's a good match when you don't see Adam Cole over and over and over and over again. Think about it. How many times back in the day when AEW was coming up, we say back in the day, but it's only been like 5 years,
Yeah.
they say, we're bringing in Okada. And people were like, yeah,
Yep.
he's there now. And what?
And to be honest with you,
But
they haven't even used him that much either.
well, I was gonna say, to be honest, I think that much strategically because they don't want him to get what these other guys are getting. Because you're wasting them on TV on dynamites. Why again? If I can see him for free, why am I paying to go to see him? I
Think
go
about
back
it.
to think about the Attitude Era back in the day. Yeah, they wrestled on TV, but how many times was there an actual pin? It was schmozes everywhere. It was Triple H jumping the Rock. It was Stone Cold jumping the Rock jumping Stone Cold, the Undertaker doing whatever. Yes, they were there. Yes, they fought each other, but there hardly was ever a winner.
And they
And
and
if
they
there was, it was because somebody else got involved.
and not only that, Sean, they look at today's wrestling. Look at how they used Carmelo and Andrade for
Yeah,
how many shows?
yeah,
They wrestled
7.
7 times, bro. And then what did they
Yeah,
do?
but
They threw a
that's
twist. They said, "All right, let's throw LA Knight now because he's the
yeah,
champion. So now let's do a three
yeah.
way." And that's it.
But that was the whole thing for that was to get them in line for the US title.
Correct.
There's been this, this there was Booker T and Chris Benoit. There's been the best of 7 matches. The thing was, this one I don't think was slated that way, but as they started going, they were like, maybe we're onto something here, to where they can take up TV time, and then we don't have to have some of these other guys work. So then they can just do interviews, and we don't have to, you know, have whatever kind of smosh match or whatever you want to do, just so that you can see the bloodline. No,
See, but that's another thing, Sean. As a wrestler, there was a moment where we said, "Hey, it's hard to turn down work because you're gonna be on TV, right?" But if I know I'm just gonna be on TV just to show up on TV, I don't have to wrestle.
oh yeah,
Roman is a perfect example of
yeah,
somebody who
100%.
uses every minute of his time to sell himself, and he doesn't wrestle. Look how many times he defended the heavyweight belt when he was the champion.
Yeah,
But yet they were still able to say, "Hey, who's the longest reigning champion for WWE?"
yeah. But when
Why?
he was on TV, it was must see TV.
Of course,
That's the thing,
and he never wrestled.
you know.
And they sold it in a way where like, hey, when he does wrestle, you want to see if
Exactly.
because you never see him, and because of the simple fact is he gonna lose. So now they
Mhm.
put in more layers on top of just
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No,
He's
that's
not
how they
wrestling.
built up the whole tribal chief. I mean, and then you start throwing the family layers into it. And look, it's been going for 4 years almost.
The only thing I will say about AEW that I kind of did like, I'm not gonna lie to you, which is kind of like little. I thought they did a pretty good job when Ricochet was being interviewed, and then the Hurt Business came, and they didn't attack him. They just talked to
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
and they just said to him, "Yeah,
They
we'll be
talked down
watching."
to him.
Yeah,
Nice suit.
and then Ricochet was like, he looked at him. He wasn't sure if like, hey, are they
Mhm.
offering me a spot or are these guys gonna come at me?
Yeah,
And that you could tell that that's more of like a WWE type of like
yeah.
moment compared to
Because again,
AEW. Because I don't see Tony Khan doing that. I see
no,
that more of a WWE. But
it's about being seen and doing what you need to do with that time. If I've got 35 seconds to cut a promo on Ricochet, what's better than walking up to him, making fun of, maybe not a backhanded nice suit, this and that, and just walking off.
100%.
Everybody's like, wait a minute, do they want him? Does Ricochet want to be with them? The other thing the other day I saw on, what's it, Collision? Max Caster was talking about the private party and like how they won the titles and this and that. And he pulls the card out and it's MVP's card. And he's like, MVP, they're they're recruiting me and this and that. And then Bowens is behind him, like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, so now, and look, they haven't wrestled. Look how many times. Look when they did the whole scissor me, movement was going on. They weren't wrestling that much. They wrestled a lot, but not like every show. It was them there. They cut the promo, Big Daddy, scissor me, daddy ass, all that crap, and they didn't have to wrestle, and they grew.
Look at the MJF and Adam Cole, how that grew, and
Yeah,
they were wrestling.
yeah,
It was just good, good production, good storytelling, and it was catchy. It was catchy to the eye.
mhm,
I mean, at one point in time, we had a debate where I was upset that MJF was dancing.
yeah.
And we
I
were talking
remember
about
that.
dancing. We weren't even talking about wrestling. We
Yeah,
were just talking about
mhm,
dancing.
yeah,
But it caught our attention
yeah.
because
No, because
you enjoyed it. I was like,
yeah,
nah, man, I hate that crap. And then all of a sudden it flipped to the
yeah,
point where at
because
one point in time I even said, hey, look at the little dumb things that MJF did when he did the
kangaroo
kangaroo choke,
kick.
the
Good
kangaroo kick.
God,
Look at that.
selling shirts and everything else, man.
I bought a shirt.
Yeah, I know you did. Ugh, boy,
Yes, sir.
oy vey.
I don't know what to think about AEW, and I don't know where they're going with this, but
The
good luck to them.
wrestling is there, man. The talent's there. The stories, it's odd, man, because
It is.
I I like the stories. I don't like the people involved in the stories. Like I like the Moxley one. I just don't think Orange Cassidy's enough to carry it. And neither is Darby.
No.
Like it needs to be a face of AEW. Like I get that, they've brought Orange Cassidy along and Darby Allin enough, but I don't care. Choke them out. Choke them out. And to be honest, AEW showed their hand when you didn't have that as the main event. You have Darby and Orange Cassidy in a tag team match against Claudio and Pac, and that's not your main event when that's your top angle. That tells you all you need to know.
100%.
Why should I invest in it if you're not invested in it?
100%. They ended the show with Will Ospreay.
Yeah. The return
And
of Will Ospreay and the other guy from Empire Embassy or whatever it was. Kyle Fletcher's Mark Davis, I think is his name.
yeah, and then they got Ricochet with Ospreay, and then
Mhm.
Powerhouse Hub is now a
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
So, so now like it's just
Well, at least
and remember what you said. The Moxley angle is supposed to be your main angle because that's what you've been selling us coming all this time,
yeah,
and you don't even close with that. You don't close with that. Your two biggest close. Your That's why they got. That's why you're right. They got it wrong. It should not be Orange Cassidy. It should be your biggest star, Will
it should be,
Ospreay.
yeah.
Should be Will Ospreay doing all this stuff.
Will Ospreay, Swerve, whatever.
Yes.
Think
Yes.
about this. Think about this type of angle, okay? If Swerve was being attacked by Moxley, Pac, that crew there,
Wheeler Yuta. Yeah.
Wheeler Yuta and all them, the music hits. And this is how you debut MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. And they come down, and you think they're going to help Swerve. And maybe they run them off. They look down at Swerve, and they leave. Why are they here? Why were they here? Do it another week. See, again, it's about building it up and getting investment to it more than just like we need to rush it to TV. That's what happens too much to me.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Is there anything positive that you liked about this past show that you could honestly say, hey, at least did this something right? For me, like I said, I thought that little segment with Ricochet and her business was pretty good. But I think that's it. I don't think I saw
I
anything
think
else that I enjoyed from the show.
I enjoyed the wrestling matches. I liked a lot of the matches. I mean, I like the stuff inside the ropes.
I don't know.
I can't get invested in the stuff inside the ropes because it doesn't speak to me right now. Nothing there. Like, even if Adam Cole wins 3 matches, now Roderick Strong wins 3 matches, it's a triple threat. The beef should be between Adam Cole and MJF. Like, ultimately, think about it, that's been going on for almost 2 years now.
Yep.
If you go back to it, the injury and everything else,
Yep.
and like,
Well, I could understand Roderick Strong as well because of the whole. He's been involved in that storyline too. I could understand that, but
no,
the
he hasn't though.
yes he was. Remember when Adam Cole was hurt, he would yell out Adam, and then MJF would be like, "Man, you're like switching on me. You're going ahead and you're like you're moving. You're moving this. You're having
Well,
this
no, yes, but
person
then
here and that person
remember
there and all that stuff."
when
So
when they
he
did
was
the
in that
move,
storyline for a minute.
when they did the switch and Cole became a heel, they were with them. It was Roderick, it was the Kingdom,
Yes.
and then they did away with it. That was the time where Roderick Strong could have carried it. That's where you should have used him. Instead, you just let everything just kind of go to shit.
That is true. That is true.
And then now you're bringing it back around because Cole is healed. And now it's like Roddy's going to be there to be the buddy again. You've had that
They should
opportunity.
when
Just,
Adam when Adam Cole got hurt, yes, that should have been where Roderick Strong kind of replaces him and then continues with that storyline. And then where's Danny Garcia? Again, nowhere to be found this past weekend. Nowhere. But yes, he was supposed to lead the whole AEW side. And then like, Christopher Daniels. What does he do? He randomly shows up from time to time. He's the worst GM ever.
Well, the problem is they don't want to be like WWE, so they can't give him that Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, Ava role. So they try to throw him out every once in a while to make a big statement. Like,
that's dumb, man.
They should
desperate
buy into it and make him a good GM.
He's not a GM, man. He's not a good GM. He doesn't look like a really good GM. He doesn't act as a good GM. Let's just keep it real. He doesn't deserve to be a GM. I'm just being honest with you. That's a wrong person to be a GM, in all honesty. So that person, out of here. He should be wrestling. He should be doing his stuff. That's fine. But you need somebody with a better character, with a better to them. You understand me? A better I don't know, a better way of kind of like selling the GM position, like what Nick Aldis and what this guy Pierce does. He doesn't do it. And that's why I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on Christopher Daniels being a GM. And like you said, they throw him from time to time just randomly. Just I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
That's all. No, I can understand.
Yeah.
I like the wrestling, man. The wrestling's good. It doesn't keep my attention because there's no investment. So it's just like watching, and I don't mean this in any, disrespect or anything, but it's going to an independent show, watching it, enjoying it, and leaving.
Yeah.
Nothing keeps me going, okay, you know what?
Yeah, I want to come back to that independent show. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
All right.
Next
topic.
We're going to spin the wheel.
Boom.
All right.
I don't know if I can spin the wheel anymore.
You should be able to because
I'm gonna switch it over to it now, to the wheel. Jesus.
The best topic of
that one at the very end too, man. Damn.
So let me ask you this. Do you watch the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast show that he has? That Skull, I think it's called.
Sometimes, not all the time. No,
so he had Goldberg on the podcast, and it was very, very cool because you got a side of Goldberg and his whole story and what he thought about and all that stuff. And then what did we get? What was it? Was it in Crown Jewel or something? Or somewhere we found out that Goldberg went and said one more match, right? I think he said retirement match. He said he was going to retire in 2025, it looks like. So, Sean, talk to me, man. Goldberg, should he have one last run? And then if he has that one last run, who should be his retirement match? Or should he just do one retirement match and that's it? And who do you think is the best opponent for him?
I'm the worst person to ask this. Because
you hate Goldberg?
God, I can't. Look, man. When it's passed you by, it's done. I'm so tired of Goldberg, bro.
What do you mean you're so tired of Goldberg? Listen to the podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was really good. Look, Karun said it. Frankie read my mind. Goldberg versus Stone Cold.
That's not gonna happen. Like, you guys, that's the problem. Like,
what is our
everybody that would make sense? Like, the only one that could make sense to me would be Braun Breaker.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Brock Lesnar.
No, I don't want to see that again. They got booed out of the building at
For the first
WrestleMania
time
with Stone Cold
as
as the referee.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean,
No, but didn't they bring it back with Paul Heyman?
yeah,
And
but
and then
it
it was
was the
good.
quick matches. It was the
But it worked.
15-second Goldberg win. It was
And then you got Brock Lesnar. You showed Goldberg because he does talk about it in the podcast with Stone Cold. He basically says he had to lose and he learned how to lose because he never knew how to lose. But if I had to choose a match for his retirement match, I don't think he should have a run like match after match after match. I don't think he can hang anymore.
no. It should be one match,
Should be one match.
12 seconds long. Done.
And if you're gonna put him against anybody out there, I would love to see him against Stone Cold, but I don't think Stone Cold can hang anymore. His knees are out, bro.
Those
So
two could not make it work.
hey,
I mean, think about it.
Nunzio was
Think
out
about
there. He
this.
made it happen.
Listen, think about this. Goldberg and The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia at a crown jewel. One of the worst matches ever.
Worst matches ever. Why?
Goldberg got a concussion 3 seconds into the match.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, you're right. That was a little bit rough.
And then he wouldn't. And then Undertaker was trying to tell him to stay down, but again, he doesn't know how to lose, so he can't. He won't quit. So it's like you're fighting this guy who won't quit.
Who's he's like too out there. He doesn't know
He's
what he's
like,
doing.
I'm Goldberg. I can't lose.
That is funny. That was funny. I think if Goldberg has one last retirement match, you do it in the biggest thing, and for me it would I would do it for Royal Rumble, and I would put Goldberg versus Randy Orton.
No. I would put Goldberg in the Royal Rumble so he can get his entrance and he can bang his head on the door one more time. He can go in there, he can spear people, throw people over the top rope, and then somebody can come eliminate him. Done.
And that will be his retirement match?
That's it. Go
He
home.
won't even win.
He
If you
doesn't
retire,
need
he
to
should win.
win.
Yes, he does. He's a retirement match. You need a win. You can't go out with an L.
Man, no. Yes, you can.
You can't go out with an L. Did you
You
go out
should
with an
go
L?
out with an L. Yes, I did. I lost the heavyweight title in my last match. That's it. Done.
Well, that's wrong. If I was a wrestler, I would not go out with an L. I gotta go
Why?
out with a W.
You do understand it's a show.
I
See, that's the problem. That's the Goldberg-itis. I'm too tough of a guy to go out with a loss. How do I lose in this?
You're just a
I'm
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
You're just a Goldberg hater.
I come out to sparklers.
I say you give the fans what the fans want. You give them Randy Orton, the legend.
I haven't heard a fan chant for Goldberg in forever.
What are you talking about? They were chanting him the times that he came out, and they were showing him. People were saying
Okay.
Goldberg.
How many times did you hear CM Punk? And were they showing CM Punk stuff? Were they doing stuff like that? No, because people wanted him.
People want Goldberg too.
No, they don't. Frankie Fresco wants Goldberg. It's the only dumb jackass that wants Goldberg.
Putting Goldberg, baby, against the Legend Killer. Okay, and there you go. You put the Legend Killer, and he could lose a match against the Legend Killer because he's the Legend Killer. So now you don't know. You don't know.
A legend in his own mind.
You don't know if Randy Orton is gonna beat him or if Goldberg is gonna beat him because he's the Legend Killer. And you sell that story like that.
The Legend Killer.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a legend. I've got to lose to the Legend Killer.
He is a legend.
Oh.
He is a legend in the sport, sir. He is. Indeed, he is. And as a backup match, Stone Cold versus Goldberg.
See, for me, let me see. Let me really think about this. Goldberg. I got it. Goldberg loses to the LWO.
Is it because I have the LWO shirt?
Done. Yes. 100%. And Bad Bunny too. Bad Bunny in with the LWO.
No. Goldberg will hurt Bad
Bring
Bunny.
him on.
Even at his age, he'll hurt
No,
Bad
no, no,
Bunny.
no, 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 no.
He'll
Bring
hurt
him
Bad
on.
Bunny.
Bring him on.
Good topics, sir. Good topic. Are we
All
spinning the
right.
wheel again?
Do you want to spin the wheel again?
Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do one more spin wheel.
One more. Oh boy. Here we go.
Yes.
Let's go. What
All
you
right.
got?
So Shane. So let's talk about Shane O'Mac. So here's the thing.
You say Shane Big Mac?
No, Shane O'Mac.
Oh. Have you tried a chicken Big Mac, by the way?
Yes, and it's not that good.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't waste your money on it. It's not that good.
Braver than me.
Yeah, it's not that good. So what should Shane O'Mac do? Should he go back to WWE? Should he sign with AEW? Should he just stay away from the wrestling world? Look, man, I mean, if I was Shane, I would go to AEW with one condition. The condition is you let me run the show the way I want to run the show. And if you let me run the show, because I know Shane can run a show. He can. He has those. He has those. He has that from his father. He can run a
You
show.
do know he is on record for being the promoter for the worst Royal Rumble match ever. And that's worse than the first one that Hacksaw Jim Duggan won.
Sir, you let him run the show. You bring some spice into AEW because it's obviously wrong. It's not doing so well right now. If I'm Shane, I would go to AEW with the condition that you give me authority to kind of like do what I gotta do in order to spice up the show, or do what CM Punk did, which is you give Shane O'Mac Collision. That's it. You give Shane O'Mac Collision and you let Shane handle Collision and see what happens. If he's able to do really well in the Collision portion of it and bring it up, then you promote him. You say, okay, now we're bringing him to the Dynamite and mix it in. But you give him a show and he'll help AEW and you're not losing anything because Collision, nobody watches Collision. So by bringing him to a Collision show, I think you're gonna get something out of it.
Look, Shane O'Mac, enjoy your time with your family, bro. Don't come back to wrestling. There's no need to. For what? The headache? I mean, if you need the money, then yeah, go to AEW. If you don't, enjoy your time, man. Because that's going to be a headache, bro. It's going to be a headache. Because you're going to be looked at as the savior. You're going to have to go over there. Shane O'Mac has shown up. He's going to change AEW. Not going to happen, man. Not going to happen.
Why are you gonna be so negative with Shane, bro? It could happen.
You do understand that Vince McMahon said you would have to kill me for you to use some of your ideas.
No, well, that wasn't. He didn't say that because of his idea. He wanted to buy the UFC, which was a smart ass idea. And he told him, "No, I'm not gonna buy the UFC. The
No,
UFC."
Vince told him that if you want me to start using your ideas on TV, you might as well stick the knife in my back because that's the only way we're going to do it is over my dead body. And you've seen Vince McMahon's ideas. How bad were these?
Come on,
Was Shane going to blow himself up?
maybe.
Was he going to give away money on TV and not have people answer for 15 minutes?
So you want Shane O'Mac to
man.
stay retired and not do anything out of the wrestling world?
I just think, look, as you say, is it going to be buzz? Yeah, but if it doesn't work out, the egg's on his face, nobody else's.
Then you know what? You're giving me an idea. How about he takes over like a production on an indie show and gets his feet wet? Kind of like, you know how a coach works his way all the way to the NFL? Kind of the same thing. If he really loves wrestling and he really wants to make it happen and he feels that his production and his work can be valuable in wrestling, because you know he loves wrestling. He loves wrestling. His father loves wrestling. He loves wrestling. And he said it. He said it on paper too. Let him maybe go back to an indie show, work your way in an indie show, see if you could get an indie show started, getting it really well, and then if you see that you're able to handle it and you make that company better, then you move on to something bigger, which in my opinion would be AEW, and then go from there. And you never know, maybe WWE eventually does call him because they're like, damn, this guy really knows the business. This guy's done really well, and he proved himself. He proved himself in the Indies. He proved himself in AEW, and now we're gonna give him a shot here in WWE. I think it's a good opportunity for him if he actually does put that time and effort. If he really loves wrestling, he's gonna have to start from the bottom. But I think that's
Yeah, but then you could just throw him on NXT and have him work with Shawn Michaels.
well, no, you don't want. But remember, WWE doesn't want any ties right now with him,
Yeah,
right?
but you want him to go to AEW. And like, what are you
Well,
gonna do
no,
there?
well, that's why you gave me. That's why you get you. I agree with you in the sense that hey, maybe he shouldn't start that high. So maybe he should start with an indie show. Start with a company that's indie shows and just work your way from there, and then see.
You can do like Eric Bischoff.
Probably, yeah. Look at Eric.
Eric
Yeah,
Bischoff is the GM for the next MLW show.
there you go.
They're giving him a chance. See what he can do. It's a pretty good idea. Pretty good stuff there.
They got nothing to lose with him, right? He has he. It worked for him
It
a while
does.
back. So
And no doubt, I see you. We'll get you a shirt, man. I'll get you one.
all right.
All right, ready for the top five, or you want another spin the wheel?
No. We've been going for 2 hours,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah.
Unless you want to spend another one, it's up to you. But
Oh, maybe he could make an impact. I think that means he's going TNA.
he
How
could,
about that? That's the WWE developmental area.
or maybe he deserves a ring. That way he could get honored for his work.
Oh God, yes. We'll send him to Saudi. There
No,
we go.
no, a ring. Maybe we could give him the opportunity to run a ring, and then we'll honor him.
Dude,
Ring of Honor, baby.
those rings are hard to set up, bro.
No, I'm talking about Ring of Honor, sir. I'm talking about Ring of
No,
Honor.
man. You gotta start setting the ring first. You set up the ring first. We had a ring that we set up at baseball games, and when the ninth inning was over, we'd roll it out. It was on the hydraulics, and you roll it out. You hit the hydraulics, and it just goes, sits at home plate.
Oh wow.
Badass. Sucked though, because it took forever to set up. All right, time for our next episode of the first ever. Well, actually, no, the return of the top five.
Yes.
Top five. All right, so what we got? We are going to do the top five of current women wrestlers. And this is coming off of the great 10-man tag team match that we saw last night on NXT, the hardcore match that we saw on NXT, and on AEW, we saw that Mercedes Moné and Camille tried to run down Chris Statlander, but then somehow she outsmarted them, hurt Camille's arm, and smashed Mercedes' head on the roof. I don't know. What say you? Your top five. How do you want to do this, Frankie? Do you want to do five each, or
Yeah,
do you want to
we'll just go straight top five, and I'm going out the top of my head. Okay.
Yep.
So, my top five, and I'm categorizing by popularity, by what I think about them, what I like about them, and all that stuff.
This is Frankie Fresco's top five current women wrestlers.
Okay. So my number 5 is Julia. I think Julia is doing a phenomenal job in NXT. I think she's selling a lot. She's doing, these matches that she had with Roxanne were just legit. She was part of that 10 women tag on an Extreme. yesterday. I gotta give her props. She has me bought right now. I like her. I'm putting her up there. At number 4, I'm gonna go with another um WWE, and that right there, in my opinion, I'm gonna go with um Roxanne Perez. Again, she is the face of NXT. She has been defending the belt consistently. I like the way that they're using her. I like the way that she's been able to carry on and hold the belt. And she is the face of NXT right now. I think right now she is doing a phenomenal job with just holding it down. And I don't know. I really do like her right now on the NXT side. I'm gonna show a little bit of love on the AEW side, not too much because I'm not I don't see too much there, but just because of her sh- she's come a long way, and I haven't seen her recently, but I think she did a pretty good job. I won, and she's not even right now in um AEW's like programming, but I gotta give her props for the run that she had, her persona, her whole gimmick, and that is Tony Storm. I think Tony Storm is somebody who deserves a lot of credit. She ran with it. She made that women's belt mean something, and I gotta give props where it gotta be props. And I like her even more than Mercedes Monet. I thought Mercedes Monet was gonna do a lot more, but I love Tony Storm right now. I think Tony Storm deserves it. My number 2, Liv Morgan. Um, I gotta give Liv Morgan some love because she's the one who was able to kick Rhea Ripley's ass out of there, bro. And she was able to go ahead and, you know, she took her out 3 times, and now she just finished beating Nia Jax. She just finished winning that dumbass ring and that championship belt that she won't even be able to be. She won't even be defending. So, and she made the right choice. She went ahead and she got Don Mysterio on her side. You can never go wrong with a woman that chooses the right man, and the right man is Dom Mysterio. That's why Rhea Ripley completely fell out of my top 5 because she let Dom Mysterio go, and big mistake, big mistake. So she falls completely out of it. And my number 1 girl, that means I want to tune in every single time to watch her, is my girl Tiffy Time, baby. My girl Tiffy Time. She is my number 1 girl right now. I love her to death. I want Tiffy with that pink briefcase to cash it in. Sean mentioned it a couple of times. She is bigger than Nia Jax. She's the biggest draw right now. People are in. Not only does she have the looks, not only does she have the skill, not only does she have the persona, she's going to be a champion, sir. And Tiffy Time is gonna take over. Tiffy Mania, baby. Tiffy Mania. Did you see that championship belt? They gave her that pink championship belt. Come on, man. Tiffy Time all day. Tiffy. So that's my top 5. Julia from NXT, Roxanne Perez, NXT, Tony Storm from AEW, Liv Morgan from Monday Night Raw, and Tiffy Time from SmackDown.
All right. I do have some honorable mentions.
Oh, you should have told me, but okay, never mind. Go for it.
They're probably gonna be the same, more than likely. Your number 5 is in my honorable mentions: Julia, Stephanie Vacour, Ziara, Jordan Grace. This was hard for me because I have Mariah May in my honorable mentions, and the reason I have her in my honorable mentions is because I feel they Cody Rhodes her, meaning she wins a title. What have they done with her since? Like, and my number 5 was Tony Storm
Ah!
because I think she's done a hell of a job, and I had to have an AEW person on there,
I
and I don't
know.
feel
I didn't want
I
to feel bad for AEW
yeah
either, so
I
I
do
understand.
not feel like Mercedes has done enough. To me, she's underperformed.
Yes.
She's had a chance to run with her own stuff, and it just feels not there right now. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel more disconnected from her now than I ever did when she was up north. Number 4 was Tiffany Stratton. Um,
How
I
dare you?
just think she's bigger than the champion on that brand right now. Everybody wants to see her music hit. Everybody wants to see her pink briefcase. Number 3, she's injured, but she'd probably be number 1 if she wasn't. Rhea Ripley, and she's there because she kicked Dom's ass out. That's mainly why she makes it there. Number 2, Roxanne Perez. I think she's carrying a stacked. Well, she was carrying it when it wasn't as stacked of a roster, and now that's a stacked roster. She's going to be, I think, a benefactor of taking on all these great women that are lining up to fight her. And number 1, oh, she's the crown jewel, Liv Morgan, number 1. And I mean, again, I'm going off this current and probably more recent bias. I didn't even go back more than 2 months looking at it. That's why Jordan Grace and some of them were on there, and some of the AEW women weren't. I mean, that's the problem too. When you look at their programming used to be good women wrestling. Now, what do you have? You had Jamie Hayter versus Penelope Ford. That was the only, I believe that was the only women's match last night.
Yeah. Think
So
about it. They Jamie Hayter was at one point legit. Britt Baker, done. Nobody knows about her. She comes randomly here and there. And I know that she was suffering with some injuries and stuff like that, but they haven't
mhm,
even done anything crazy with her. Mercedes Monet has underperformed. Um, this girl, the one that paints her face, the Mexican girl, forgot her
Thunder
name.
Rosa.
Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, it should be a big star in AEW, and they don't use her right, and it's so disappointing.
Even
And
Deanna Perosa should be more. I mean, I like what they're starting to do with her and Taya Valkyrie. So we'll see where that goes.
Julia
But
Hart, what happened to Julia
uh,
Hart?
she was injured. I think she's coming back, but we'll see when they do it.
It's crazy.
Let me see if we got any comments on the top 5. Anybody have anything else to go? No Doubt says EO has to be number 1. Everything else is up for debate. Wow, so he's very
I think it
EO
was
biased.
good. I just don't see. I just haven't. It's like I'm going based on like who I would watch right now,
Yeah.
in anywhere. Like for example, I would even go to an indie show if I could see Tony Storm because I know Tony Storm was doing
Hmm.
some of the Mexico stuff. So I would love to have gone to Mexico and watched Tony Storm because she catches my eye. Um, and Julia, Liv Morgan, Tiffany, and Roxanne, all those
Yeah.
girls are girls I want to go see. I want to
I
go
put
see.
down a list of 10 women. 1 was AEW. 2, sorry, Mariah May as well. Sorry.
And I wanted to put Mariah May, but the problem is Mariah May. You said it. They kind of
Yeah.
ghosted her.
That's why I put her on honorable mention. I couldn't put her up there because I feel that Tony Storm is more relevant still without the title than she is with the title. So,
100%.
all right, final thoughts, Frankie Fresco.
Final thoughts. I want to apologize for all of our craziness today, Thursday. That's number one. That's my final thought right now. I want to apologize, guys. I know
Yeah,
we started the show with myself. You guys weren't able to hear me. Then all of a sudden we had Sean freeze up. Then Sean couldn't be heard, and then it just went over and over. It was rough at the beginning, but there's a reason why we do this, and we do it for you guys. And as we find ways to still deliver the show for you guys. And what did we do? We do what we got to do. And of course, Sean, the executive producer here, he works his
well,
magic. He thought about
I
it.
don't know. Can you see all of me lined up on the ground on the bottom? You
Yeah.
see me?
I still see all three of you.
There's like three of you there. Hey.
But I'm not paying attention to that, Sean. I'm paying attention to you and my camera. But yes,
Don't worry, guys.
I do see out there. So on the bottom it does show like Sean 3 times. So it's pretty funny. But you guys don't see that. I see that, but that's pretty cool. And not only I'm not gonna lie, guys, the glare from the top of the room all the way to his
If I can get it right. If I can get it
beautiful
right. The lights come out of my eyes.
beautiful ball head, just like mine. It sold me. So I want to thank all you guys again, everybody who tuned in. I know Thursday nights we don't typically stream, but
And there's a reason.
yeah, exactly. But I do want to go ahead and say happy birthday again to your father, Sean. Happy birthday to you as well. Your birthday was right on the corner. I want to give a huge happy birthday to my brother. My brother's birthday was yesterday as well. That's one of the reasons why we did not do Let Me Talk to You, because my brother's birthday was yesterday. So shout out to my brother. Love you. Always proud of you, and hope I could have you for many, many years. And shout out to my friend DJ Immortal. He is my he is the person who taught me how to DJ. His birthday was yesterday as well. So a shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. I know he's going through some hard thing because unfortunately his father passed away like 2-3 days ago as well. So it's been crazy in his life. So my condolences to him as well. But shout out to everybody's birthday, all the Scorpios. And hey man, like I said, man, thank you, Sean, for making it happen on a Thursday, and your creativity. We were able to listen to you, we were able to see you, and the glare just I will always remember this show because of the glare.
The glare. Looks coming on my eyeballs.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to thank you all for putting up with our silliness and everything else. Apologize for the technological issues. Happy birthday to your brother. Happy birthday to my dad. Happy birthday to your friend there as well. Was he? Didn't your dad just celebrate a birthday recently?
My dad's birthday was in October.
That's right, the end of October, right?
Yeah, and then right around the corner is my sister's birthday. My sister's birthday is at the end of this month, so it's like everybody's birthday right now.
Happy
Bro, it's
birthday
crazy.
to everybody.
Shout out to anybody who has a birthday right now.
Yep, yeah. And once again, I want to say happy birthday to my dad. Don't forget to follow me, Stanley Media House, on YouTube and on Facebook. It is Stanley Media _11 on X, and of course, Sean Stanley Sports Talk on Twitch. No doubt, I see you there. What I discussed with you, once I get back from LA, starting next week, we're going to put that into motion. So I'll be in touch with you, Frankie, as well. I just want to thank everybody that gives us the support of watching us, liking it, product, sharing it, criticism, whatever it is. We're here to give you our thoughts, our opinions, and we appreciate each and every one of you that gives us 30 seconds of your time that listen to us spit out hot air about pro wrestling. So I want to thank each and every one of you. And you, Frankie Fresco, as always, thank you for switching your days. No doubt, Karoon, uh, Pecker Patterson can go pecker golf. Maxie the Pounder, appreciate you there. Official DJ Mimo, as always. Josh, and everybody that was on our chats.
You forgot Stanley Media House. He has.
Stanley Media House. Because
right.
you're on there 4 times because you've got a camera, you've got a phone, you got everything else. Because you can't make things worse. What just happened? You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
My whole screen just went black. All right. That tells me it is time to say so long from the Sunshine State. I hope this works.